So last class we have seen theoretical concepts of OOPS concepts. Now we will see the complete practical oriented implementation on OOPS concepts. So whenever we are going to create any OOPS concepts, first we will start with class and object. So what is a class and what is an object? Already we know class is a container type. It has methods, variables, objects. Methods, fields, we call it as variables. Properties, which is we are going to call another class. We are referring in another class, that is object. So what is an object? Object is an instance of a class. It is a reference. It is an instance of a class. So here, pen is a class. But what type of pen it is? Reynolds, gel pens. Okay. So this type, what we call it as object. We are exactly referring one particular information. That is what we call it as object. So here, exactly what we are going to do by using object and how we are going to access the class information, then we can have a clear idea. We have two levels. One is create a memory and use it, and don't create any memory. You can use the same as class memory. So simply says that here, wherever data is changing person to person, then we can use object. And wherever data is common, then we can use static. So data is changing, there is object, and data is common, then we can use static. So now we can understand how we are going to create a class and object. So go for a console or Windows, anything, project. Oops. Here we can see that it is a class. Whatever class name is same as method name. So whenever we have to write a set of statements, we can use method. So simply we can say that string, my string, public access specifier, and here we can say program. So this is a class program, same name we can use. So this is what we call it as constructor. Class name and this method name is same. Just now, class name and method name is same, that is constructor. So now what we have to do, we need to send this particular parameter we are going to assign. So here we can say that string input string. So now we can assign here my string equal to input string. This is. and whatever input we have given, that we are printing here. So public void print string. So this is a global variable that we can access here and as well as here also. Now we can say console.writeLine of here one parameter, that is my string. Now class is there and we created one user defined method called as a print string. So now what we have to do, we want to inform to the main function. We have written one of the method called as print string and one of the other method called as program. But what is the difference between this and this? This name is same as class name. That's why we or call it as a special name constructor. Now how to create a class, how to create an object. Once class is ready, now these are all the code is created by us. So the system cannot run that user type statements. Now what we have to do, we have to inform to the main function. We have created one class called as program. Now we are going to refer. This is a program class prj equal to initialize the memory new. Now we want to invoke the string. So this is online training. So while creating an object, we want to initialize the default values or welcome to whatever the company that we have to initialize automatically. And one more method we have written, prj dot print string. This is a method. So now we just keep the breakpoint here as well as here and here. So breakpoint should not be placed in predefined statements. It will not run. It will just substituting at the compilation time. But user defined statements may be having errors or may not be. So class also not allowing. Only from this statement onwards, you want in a variable declaration, you want in a method, or you want any expression, wherever we want, we can keep it. So now what we have to do, we need to write this. So just to press enter, it will going to close. So now we just continue. First, it will not going to execute from top to bottom. First, it will be starts the execution from main method. So till now, this is not having any reference. It is empty. But once we executed this one, the statement program project prj equal to new program. Now automatically it is identifying program parenthesis we sent one string. So it is checking where the user has written program and what type of default values you need it, that we can send it here, and it is initializing. Earlier this is empty. Now after execution of this particular statement, now it is going to capable of taking the string information. So now here this is, once it was executed, my string is this F11. Now print the string. What this string contains, the previously information. That information is going to display here. Online training. Once we press enter, it will close. So here, how to call a user defined function. We are not created this. Then it is saying that I don't know where is PRG. And you know that program is a class. Now we are going to suppose to call directly. So it is saying an error. It is required for static fields. It is not having static. So if you want to call with the object, we can initialize the memory and then we can call. And you want to call directly because there is no calculations. Just simply as it is, we can substitute. Example, countries names, states names, cities names, common for everyone. So wherever that common information is required, then we can use static. So one person address, another person address is different. So if you want to retrieve such information, then we can use get addresses. We can pass one by one of IDs and we will get the result. So now here, this is the print string display. Now we just mentioned here as don't create a separate memory. Use the class memory as it is. So whenever the class is loaded, whatever memory it is initialized, take that one as it is. So we can say here static. If we are not mentioned static here, then it will give an error as it is static, but this one is non-static. So it is showing that object reference is required for non-static fields or methods. You cannot use directly. If you want to access, the one is, you can declare this one also static. So static methods will accept static type of variables only directly. Non-static fields cannot access directly. Maybe if you need to access that one, then what we can use? Create an object name dot myString. So like that we can use. So now here, what we have to understand, how to create a class, how to create a method, what is normal method and what is static method. So normal methods are access specifier, return type, name of the method. Wherever we want, we can call like this. Class name equal to new program. So the syntax will be here as class name. This is the class name. And then object name equal to new. This is the memory allocation operator. This one we call it as constructor. So this is the syntax. So this name is a class name, this one is an object, this is memory allocation operator, and this is constructor. So now, while we are calling the constructor, it is asking a string. So we are passing that string as a parameter. It is sending, it is receiving, and assigned to global variable. Local variables and global variables. Local means this variable we can access only open brace of this one to close brace of this one. We cannot access this input string here. See, input string, it will not come. But whatever the top we declared, my string, that my string we can use